yellow which is dominant, and then green which is recessive. The other characteristic here is pod shape. Pod shape. The shape of the pod, the contrasted forms of the character are two. A pod could be inflated, that is the dominant expression. It could be inflated, in which case now we can say a pod which is expanded. A pod which is expanded, then we say it is inflated. Then if it is not inflated, then it will be constricted. It will be constricted. Constricted. Of course, you can see how they match. You can see how they match. If a pod is not inflated, then it will be constricted. Constricted means it is flattened, it is looking slim, if I can use that language. I understand you get that expression, but technically, or in biology we say the pod is constricted. It is not expanding. Now 5, the fifth character, or the fifth experiment of Mendel, evolved what we call pod color. Pod color. The color of the pod. This one here has two forms of contrasting expressions. What happens is that we have green. A pod can be green. That is the dominant form now, or the dominant expression. It can be green. A pod can be green, that is the color. That is the dominant expression. And then the recessive one here is yellow. Yellow is recessive. So, you can see here, don't confuse it with seed color. Seed color, yellow seeds or yellow character is dominant over green character. When it comes to pod color, the green color of the pods or green character is dominant over yellow character. Then 6, we have flower position. Flower position. Flower position. The position of the flower on a plant. But of course here, Mendel used the peas. Now, a flower could be terminal, that is the dominant character. Terminal. When flowers appear at the apex of the shoot, then we say it is terminal. Then the recessive form of the character is axial. So when they appear at the sides or on the branches, when flowers appear on the branches, then we say they are axial. They are axial. Then the 7th character is flower color. Flower color. The color of the flowers which were studied here are 2. Some of them were white. And that is the dominant expression now of the character. White. I mean red. Red is dominant over white. Red is dominant over white. So I will write red here, which is dominant over white, which is recessive. White. So what does it mean? That Mendel performed 7 experiments in monohybrid inheritance. And of course, these are the characters which he studied. That is why Mendel still remains outstanding when it comes to genetic studies. He did a very great work as far as the study of genetics is concerned. So that is it. Now, to wind up with this, so that next time we deal with dihybrid inheritance, I want to remind you about the meaning. Or you can view these characters very well. I think I'm giving you some good space. You can be able to view them very well. It is very important to look at them carefully, since a question can appear on any of these. Now, in all cases, when Mendel made his crosses in the F2 generation, what happened is that a phenotypic ratio of 3:1 was always obtained. But now, practically, it was not the exact one. He used it to approximate. So now, when he approximates, when he removed the points or the decimals, then of course, he could arrive to a phenotypic ratio of 3:1 in the F2 generation, what we call the monohybrid ratio. So now, I want to remind you about the meaning of a pure breed. Pure breed, also called pure line, or we can call it breeding true, breeding true. What is a pure breed or a pure line of breeding true plant? Say, breeding true plant. This is a plant which is homozygous, for its trait, or a plant or an organism which is in homozygous state for its trait. Then that is how I can best express it, that a pure breed or a pure line or a breeding true plant or organism is an organism which is in homozygous state for its trait or for its character. So we can simply say that if we consider H and a pea plant has a genotype TT, capital TT, then we can say this is a pure breed or a pure line or a true breeding plant. Suppose it has small tt, double recessive, then it is also a pure breeding plant or a pure line or a true breeding plant. So you can say true breeding plant. Say breeding true plant. We can say true, let's begin with the word true. True breeding plant. Yeah, you can best call it true breeding plant or pure breed or pure line, an organism which is in homozygous state for its character or for its trait. So, dear scholars outside there, that is it. That is where we are as far as monohybrid inheritance is concerned. Of course, there are some other inheritance which obeys Mendel's principles of monohybrid inheritance. This one here, we shall meet it in other aspects of genetics as we proceed. Of course, we have just studied. We shall meet many and many other things. So friends, let us meet another time. So our lesson of today ends here.